Hello everyone, I am Shiv Mathur and today I am making a video on sadhana, where to do sadhana, what kind of place do you need to have somebody who will guide you, you need to find some yogi with whom you can do sadhana. So this is especially targeted to people who ask me these questions, can you give me some contact number, where can I do sadhana? So I actually really can't understand what exactly they want, because I really don't know their level of how much they are prepared, how much they are ripened spiritually, and where they can go, because this is like a school or a college where you have done some preparation and you are at a certain level. So without understanding that, I really cannot advise. But what I can do, I think I can make a general kind of a discussion. We can give some guidance based on my knowledge and experience, whatever I know based on my travel for the last 8-9 years. So initially, the first step of sadhana is that self-inquiry, and which is also till the end you do self-inquiry, and that is main sadhana, actually self-inquiry. So sadhana is purification of body and mind, what you eat, what kind of exercise, or maybe yoga asanas, you can do asanas, pranayam. This is the physical part, and then you have the mental part where you are working on your senses, or the withdrawal of thoughts, like or removal of worries, removal of unnecessary thoughts. That's the mind part, the purification of mind. And then you are also working on parallelly mastering some posture, asana, where you can sit and meditate. So sadhana has many aspects, and apart from this, you have to look after your daily needs. You have to sleep, and you have to probably cook or eat and do certain other tasks, and in between you have to find a way where you can then do these things, where you can find some place and some in a place where you can do your self-inquiry. Maybe you go and sit near the river Ganges, in some place where there's no crowd, no one over there, and then you can do your introspection, contemplation, and maybe you can do an asana, you can do anywhere. But if you want to have more fun, enjoy it more, maybe the place will also matter. So maybe you can go to the riverside, and there are beaches, like the sand. There is a nice beach near the river. You can go to those places. Now, especially people who want to come to looking to do sadhana and develop spiritually. They don't have much clarity what exactly is sadhana, but they want to explore. Basically, I would say explore. Like I have also started exploring, not knowing anything about much spirituality, but self-inquiry was something which is very important, and which I was actually doing it, and that was something which prepared me to attain certain things, or like discover. I would say discover some, not attain. I would say discover certain things, because there's nothing you attain. You only discover the truth. It's gradual realization which happens about what is life. So you start discovering it, and as you move, you are able to kind of decide how to move next. You'll make mistakes. You'll meet wrong people, go to wrong places. All this will keep happening. So the path is not so straight, because ultimately, if we knew everything, the path could have been straight. But as we don't know, so we go with hit and trial. You improving our discriminatory ability to judge, and so it's not judge. I want to clarify by saying judge doesn't mean that we keep judging everyone. But we have to keep assimilating and then make decisions. And because there's a difference, especially I see in Europe, people, especially with my student, they used to listen. They were great listeners, assimilate, and then question. they were not judging the teacher, and there's a lot of people who are actually trying to justify what they're doing. So the teacher is not interested in knowing what you're doing and how you're doing. He doesn't need, you don't have to justify to the teacher that you can tell what you're doing, but you don't have to say in a way that you prove that what you're doing is already great. Then you can go back and keep doing that only. So when you come out with open mind to learn and not push yourself to prove, to just, it's basically you're massaging your ego. So when you're trying to figure out where to start, where do I begin? So for beginning, if you're coming to a place like Rishikesh, which is considered to be, the Himalayas considered to be a spiritual center, though even Rishikesh has gone through many changes. So you can see some ashrams like Yogniketan, Swami Ram Sadhagram, Swami Ram Sadhana Mandir. You can go to Parmat Niketan also. You can choose those big ashrams. Some of the ashrams are only for Indians, like not Ved Niketan, Vanprastha Ashram and Gita Bhavan, and maybe some more. Some of the ashrams are only for Indians. Some ashrams are only for families. They don't allow single people. I think Gita Bhavan doesn't allow single people sometimes. So even I think Vanprastha Ashram is also for families. I think they don't allow single people. But I'm not sure, because I've not lived in Vanprastha Ashram, but I've lived in Gita Bhavan. But best is to go to a purely spiritual ashram which doesn't have too many conditions, and they are more focused with yoga and meditation and their routine, not getting too much into these kind of complications. So Yogniketan I will strongly recommend that. There's Kriya Yoga Ashram, but it's not very nicely located, and the whole thing is not very good. Yogniketan is very nicely, it's perched on top of it's little above the road, and it's a little, though it is there in the main area, but it is also very silent and peaceful. And there's a lot of practitioners or seekers there who are quite serious. So I would say that's a very good ashram to live. Swami Ram Sadhagram, I would say even that is good. And I won't talk about the negatives about these ashrams, because if you stay more time and you are not really, for a newcomer, these things really don't matter. So try to get into these ashrams, and nothing is perfect here also, but in the beginning, that routine of a simple life and disciplined morning meditation, morning yoga, and then maybe a lecture, and then evening yoga meditation, and the simple food, all that. For a beginner, it gives a very good feeling, and the environment there, and the silence there, and only spiritual discussion or only people talking about yoga. So the focus is there. So it's a very nice place to begin with your spiritual journey. And in your free time, you can actually do self-inquiry, and you can go and try to see some good yogis, some good sadhu. In Swargashram area, there are many cottages where sadhus are living, though that is also going through changes. A lot of cottages are empty and there's no sadhu there. So there is something going on there also. But you can still find some sadhu in one of those cottages who may be nice, who will, if you engage in some conversation with them, you will get some knowledge. So these kind of things you can do, and there are a lot of, you'll find many sadhus there, and maybe you can, like in Swarg Ashram, if you see, you'll find many sadhus sitting there, and maybe you can talk to some, and you'll be able to figure out which sadhu is giving what knowledge. Then you can go to Vashishta cave. So these are these are the places for the beginners, these ashrams. Now budget also. So there are people who can pay that, there are people who cannot pay that. So we'll talk about budget, and before that I will also tell, apart from the ashram, now there are many yoga schools who are actually doing walk-in classes, courses, they have place to stay. So you can even go there and do your own exploration, maybe follow some of their classes if they have daily classes also apart from some courses, because I think most of the schools are running courses, long courses, teacher training courses kind of stuff. So I really don't know whether they will take some individuals who are not being part of the course. I'm not aware about that. So there are many schools, there are all kind of small, big, Rishikesh is full of that, especially now Tapovan area is full of that. So they will definitely, give you some cost to not do the course but still be there, and you can do your explorations. You can see the vibes, you can walk around, and it's a good place to do self-inquiry, contemplation, which is a sadhana. You can do your own sadhana. So I've given all the options which are available, particularly in Rishikesh. Then next, apart from Rishikesh, next place I will suggest is Uttarkashi, which is before Gangotri. So it is about 190 kilometers from Rishikesh, and Uttarkashi also has a couple of ashrams within Uttarkashi, and a little ahead of Uttarkashi also there are many ashrams. Like there is Shivananda ashram, and there is now Tapovani Mata's ashram, there is Anandmayi ashram, there is Yog Niketan ashram also. Similarly, there are many ashrams in Gangotri, but Gangotri is generally for, I don't know how many people will really like to go to Gangotri to do sadhana. That's a wonderful place. That's the best, ultimate. So if you really want to do real sadhana, go to Gangotri, go to Uttarkashi, and you can begin with Rishikesh. So these are the three places I have told. Devprayag has no place to do sadhana. There is one Sahaj Yoga ashram. There is Vyas ashram. If you can find it, you can go there. You can do your sadhana there also. But they don't run any courses. Sahaj Yoga has something, but Vyas ashram is just an independent ashram. You can go and do live there. En route also you will find some ashrams to Badrinath and Kedarnath. So there will be some ashrams. You have to go and discover yourself. I mean, I can't, explore every nook and corner of the Himalayas to find out. But these are the places. So when you move around, you will definitely find places. Now, I have given you the places which are like formal ashrams or formal schools. As you start living in these places, suppose for a longer time, in a smaller place, you will probably befriend locals and you will come to know more. Maybe somebody will offer you a house, a room in your house, and maybe those kind of things can happen. But that will take time, and they will also judge you whether you are really a sadhak or not, are you serious about it or not. So options can, evolve over a period of time when you move there and you explore. So a lot of things can happen, and as you go there, you will come to know many options. Because especially in Uttarakhand, especially in this Devbhumi area, the locals are very used to sadhus, yogis, sadhaks, So they do form a good support system. It's very normal to be a sadhak there in that place and be acknowledged as a sadhak or a yogi or a mahatma or as a sannyasi. All these formats are very much accepted by the locals, and they do support them. So somebody wants to be there for the long time, and decide to be there always, completely shift there and do sadhana. They have many, the options will, with time, will keep coming up. You can slowly choose where, which location, where, you may have choices then. But in the beginning, you have to probably tread like this. Sorry for my throat is not recovering, but I'm still trying to, create this content. Because when people come to me and I can't, it's very difficult to explain them, I can't talk for 2 hours. Sometimes people call me and then I have to get into explaining them, and it becomes very difficult. So I will only do a monologue, listen, assimilate, decipher whatever I am saying, and whatever you understand, just go ahead and explore it. This is just a clue I am trying to give. So after telling you various options, and then there will be some remote, the last option I would say, like villagers, schools, ashrams. There are some yogis who are also living there. They may also offer you for few days. Some yogis have a small room, or, they are living in a place where they have space for 1 or 2 people, and it's very difficult to find those yogis because you are going on the highway and just somewhere down the road you go down towards a river, there are 2-3 yogis living. There is a temple, there is, even within the temple there are rooms, and so there are possibilities. Even in the temple somebody will offer you, yeah, you can stay here and do your sadhana for some time. So they will observe you, how you conduct or what kind of person you are. So based on that only you can find more spaces. And then you can also find by asking villagers. There are many I would say religious places, but yeah, there are quite a few famous places where also small places en route to Badrinath, Kedarnath and Gangotri, where there will be still temples, plenty of temples, and there will be some yogis living there around, or in some little far away from the village, somewhere on the top of the mountain, there will be some yogis. So they are all scattered. You have to really find. You can watch YouTube videos. You might come across some yogis videos. People have made. There are many people who have made by traveling in the interiors of the Himalayas and found some yogis. So maybe now if you want to go to that remote, you can maybe go to those remote places also, and they might accept you also, and they may not accept you. That totally depends upon you. Like there is no reference or recommendation somebody can give. So I think now I have given all the options. Even you can go to Badrinath, Kedarnath, Gangotri. So there are ashrams, there are yogis, there are some locals. So you have to find it yourself. It is not that you book in advance and get somebody's phone number and talk to them and then go. It's not like this. Now coming back to the main ashrams in Rishikesh and those yoga schools, approximate cost I will tell is 8 years back or 9 years back when I used to go, it was 700 rupees including food and stay and all the classes. But today it's 1400 rupees for a single person, and if you are twin occupation, 2 people in one room, then it is around 3000 rupees or 2800, and there is also option of AC, non-AC, and 1400 rupees 1400 rupees for one person. So this is the cost in Yoga Niketan. Similar prices are there in Paramath Niketan. Ved Niketan maybe was very cheap earlier. I think it was 400 rupees some time back, and maybe now it is different because it's been taken over by Sri Ravi Shankar. So probably the prices, I would say 1000 rupees is minimum now for most of the ashrams. You have to keep 1000 rupees per day budget, and they don't have any monthly package that they will give you some reduced cost in these ashrams. Their prices are like on paper like this, whether you stay for 20 days, 30 days, 10 days. So 1000 rupees is the budget. So if you want to say, I want to go do sadhana, go ahead, do. These ashrams are there, go and book if you pay. So I really don't know your situation. You are really coming to do sadhana, or you are looking for just an excuse that I want to do sadhana, but my situation is very difficult financially. So actually I'm looking for somebody to give me a free stay and a free food. Now if you have that kind of expectation, I really don't know what to do. I have given you what is available. It's not what you want. Many people want many things. Now then you can live like a normal sadhu who lives, who eats in bhandaras, wherever he gets food and maybe sleeps on the road, and you can still do that sadhana. Are you really prepared for that kind of thing? You're looking for some comfortable place, what kind of frugal or more comfortable. So, and this is India, this is not Europe. Here places can be very awful to all right to very good. It all depends, like, and they can be in different salary, price range. So it's very complex. You just can't imagine, for this 1,000 rupees what will I get, or for 500 rupees what will I get, or maybe for free what will I get, or will I really get something for free, who will offer me free? So it's very complicated. It is not that easy. It took me 8-9 years of traveling and spending a couple of months also in the last few years and discovering these things. So it takes time. You can't just come and say, I'll find a place. Now, so this is very important, that what's your situation, where you'll find. My book about meeting the Himalayan yogis I have covered about written a lot about these ashrams in detail. So if you want to read, you can read that book. There's another book called Ashrams. There is a YouTube channel also, Ashrams of India. They have written a book. I think there's quite a big book about various ashrams all over India. And that book is called Ashrams of India, I think. So it talks about many ashrams. Like if I talk about Advait Ashram in Mayavati near Pithoragarh, Champavat. I had gone there last year, April, for 3-4 days. They will give you for short period only. They won't give you for maximum, they'll give you for a week. And they take donation. Donation means there is no fixed price, but you can give whatever you want to give. So some people can get away without giving anything also, or some people can give just something and then go there. So maybe people have found those places, and maybe there are places. I know of someone who is living in south of India, and they are, I think, spending a lot of time, and I'm sure they are not paying much. So they have got a kind of a place to stay, maybe paying very less. So all over India, the possibilities are there. If you go to Puri, if you go to Rameshwaram, if you go to Kachipuram, you go to these religious places. Even in Vrindavan, there are some places which probably offer free, like near ISKCON temple, there's a Bengali Baba ashram. He probably gives free place. So there will be some places where there will be free, but you have to find. But then, somebody I came across someone who said there is no hot water, and it was 0-degree temperature in winters. And there's no hot water being provided to, so you want to go and have so that person did not have a bath for 3 days and came to my house and took a hot water shower. I said, okay, you can take a shower here. So what sounds, if you look for something free, it will not be. But when you really become a good sadhak and you will live there for you spend some time, then people will also create place for you. All these yogis, most of the yogis who are living, people have finally created space for them. Some yogis already have followers who have donated and made place for them. Like Lalita Mataji, who is in Gangotri. I met her in 2018. I think she must have spent almost 20-25 years in Gangotri. And every winter she goes little down from Gangotri to Dharali, or maybe before Harsil. But now finally some Maharaj has looked after them, and they've created in that cave they've created a proper room space for them now. So now she is not going down, she is spending her winters also in Gangotri. Depends. Like I met another yogi whose video is there on my channel, Nargiri Padamgiri. He passed away, I think, last year. He never used to go down, and he lived in a cave, and his cave was so small that only he could fit in. Such a small cave, and he used to live in that cave. He lived in the winters also. So some people don't want, some people want. There's one ashram in Gangotri where this yogi lived. He was 104-year-old, and long time back the king of Tehri, Garhwal from Uttarakhand. He became his follower and he came and told, I will give you so much land. I mean, those days Gangotri was like literally a forest. So he said, I'll give you so much land, we'll make an ashram for you, we'll make this. That yogi was living in the open in Gangotri. He said, I don't need anything. What will I do? I don't need a room, I don't need anything. I'm living in the open. So twice he refused. Then finally he came and he said, I will make this, something. But he didn't need it. Only the guys, the king is pressing, requesting, getting after him that I'll do this for you. So people do that. I met another yogi ahead of Dev Prayag. He called me, come and see my place. I went to see his place. So he showed me how he started. When he started living, he just created a temporary kind of a hut. And then he was telling in the beginning he was alone, so there used to be a tiger in front. In the night he used to come and sleep outside. So he said there used to be animals outside and he was inside in the night. It happened, when the villagers realized that there's a yogi living here, then they said they made something little more better. And now he has a beautiful place. He has 2 guest rooms and he has made a beautiful temple and this and that and lovely lawns and I know it looks like a resort now. And he said all my followers did it, because I was teaching young children, and then now they've grown up and they become one of the child is a politician or something, MLA. So he's done everything for me. And that land is forest land. It is actually not legal to make all these things, but he says everybody knows me here, so probably nobody will object to me, this. So he's so there are people like that, yogis like that, who are some way supported, but it is I don't know, they are very confident that nothing will happen to the place, because I've seen some of the these places being considered as encroachment in the forest, because they all come in the forest area, and in the forest you can't construct anything, so they have been demolished by forest department. Recently, Tatwale Baba's cave, the entire structure was demolished in September. In fact, when I reached Rishikesh, and the second day only I read in the newspaper, somebody showed me the newspaper and he said, this cave got demolished. Then I went to meet him. This cave has been demolished. Now somebody is fighting in the court to reinstate that. But now it is demolished. So for the reasons I won't tell. So this is about, this video is about where to find a place, how to find a place, how do you go and how do you travel in the Himalayas. I would say traveling is a challenge. If you have your own transport, then it becomes very convenient. Like I had my scooter, so before I traveled by my car in 2018-19, but that was a very different travel. Now I was living and I needed a transport to explore. So if you have a transport, then it becomes convenient because it saves a lot of time, and sometimes you don't get anything to travel. But there are jeeps, there are buses, so you can go to one place to another place. But in one day you will not be able to find something, In one day what you will find is whatever is commercial. But to find something which is more suitable to you, and something, some of those options which are like purely for spiritual purpose, and those kind of people who will support you, that will take time, like in 2-3 months in Dev Prayag now, slowly I'm probably evolving some options. Like somebody called me, Guruji, aap yahan reh rahe ho hamare yahan. I mean, you can stay in our house. So now people have started inviting me, or like somebody told me, this is a beautiful village, you stay here. So like I go and eat, have my coffee sometimes in this restaurant, and this guy has become, he really respects me. So he's like, he reveres me a lot, and he's like become very caring about me. So he is trying to find out, can there be a better option. So there's one village and just near Dev Prayag, just 2-3-4 kilometers, and he's spoken to the chief of the village there, and the chief of the village wanted to meet me and and but then I was coming to Pune, so I couldn't meet. So he's trying to help me to find a place. So these things will slowly happen as your personality gets established there and people respect you, and things will happen. Things will happen. But so this is a long term thing, and then with your personality and with your knowledge and what you talk when you meet these yogis, they will also probably offer you a place if you connect with the people. It's all about whether as a sadhak, are you connecting with the people there, are you connecting with the yogis there. If you are not prepared, if you are very hollow and you are only talking about sadhana, and you are only looking for a place to stay because probably you are under some poverty, below some those kind of financial issues, so this is not a solution for that. So be very serious that people will judge you there, and then accordingly people will give you something, support and help, or you'll find your way. So it is, are you really serious about that, or you are there's something else in your mind, something else which is going on. So these are the things, and I cannot think of more now, and I'm only spoken about Uttarakhand because that's my area of exploration. I've been to Tirunamala, I've been to Auroville, I've been to Dwarka, I've been to Calcutta, Sri Rampur, where Yoganand's house is there, Yukteswar Giriji's house is there, Puri is there. Then I can talk about Mathura. These religious places are very different compared to what is Himalayas. So if you really want to do sadhana, then that's a place. Otherwise, you can always find places all over the country, because India is a very spiritual country. If you see, I was thinking of talking about this, that there's no country which is actually fully spiritual. Like spiritual is integral part of India. Another friend of mine told me that India, it's very easy to live a spiritual life. You can wear this color. Like I was listening to this Russian yogini that day. She's so evolved. She's one of the best yogi I would say I've come across. Very intelligent, from Russia. She's from Russia. Been living here for last 17, 18 years. She's living in some remote place. I don't know where she lives. I think she lives near Kedarnath and Chopta. So she, in this last Kumbh, she joined this akhada with, because this and because she said, I joined this because I get all the support. But otherwise, without that, because we get some documents. So if I go to some ashram, I show that I am from Juna Akhada, I am from Avan Akhada, I am from this Akhada. And so they, I am recognized and given place. So when sadhus travel, ashrams provide free food and stay for the sadhus. So they have, a lot of ashrams have, like Kailash ashram in Rishikesh is mainly for sadhus. It is mainly for sadhus only. So sadhus come and stay, but it's very frugal, very, very frugal. And so if you are from akhada, they will accept you. If you are just a sadhu, and if you are not from akhada, they may not even accept you, because there are a lot of murderers and criminals who also turn into sadhu. So these guys are, if you are from akhada, you have some kind of verification has been done, and you are like from the akhadas, and you're connected. You have some guru, then you come under the fold of some guru who then supports you, and so this is like a well-structured organization. So what she told that I have joined this akhada because I get a support, and in India for a lady it's more difficult. So if I join akhada, it really helps. And she was right, I think. So maybe you can also try that route of akhada if you are looking for a long term. And even a lot of women are in the akhadas now. They join these akhadas. Even Germany, whom I met in Kalishila, she's also from I think I don't know which akhada, but she's also from one of the akhada, because her guru Barkhagiri Maharaj was from akhada, and he was a very highly respected yogi who lived in Kalishila for 45 years. So you can take the akhada route also. So basically you can join those sampradayas and naths and sampradayas. So and now these akhadas are mainly they are centered in Rishikesh, Prayagraj, Allahabad, and Varanasi. So Varanasi is one place you can begin your spiritual journey from, and then probably come to the mountains, you can actually go to Varanasi first, because Varanasi is again a big spiritual center. I was born there, but I have not been there till now. I mean, since in the last 10-15 years. I mean, last I went to Varanasi was in 2006, a long time back, almost 20 years back. So probably I'm wanting to go to Varanasi. Let's see when will I go, but or whether I will really go there or not, or maybe I'll go to leave my body there when I probably can't decide to leave my body. That's one of my sadhana goal, to take samadhi and leave the body at will. So Varanasi is considered, and I was born there, maybe I can leave my body there also. Okay, thanks.